Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. Joel Embiid is a gold medalist. Team USA beats France in the Olympic final. Can the Sixers star carry the good vibes into the NBA season? The Phillies go 4-6 on the West Coast road trip and split a 2-game series against the Marlins. Can the team finally work their way out of their slump against the lowly Nationals? The Eagles win their first preseason game against the Ravens. The Birds spend the week in New England for joint practices with the Patriots. Their second preseason game is wrapping up as we speak. Who has impressed so far and who has disappointed? All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Going well. Good to be back. Good to have the full gang back together. Avery, thanks for holding it down on another solo pod, but this time a la Avery. Very good. I think we've all heard great reviews from it, so no complaints there. Great job with the weather report as well, stepping in, which was really good. Today I can report it's actually beautiful. Yeah, beautiful this week, so I'll take that. Not too bad. Nice and cool in the morning, nice and warm throughout the day. So it's been what I always wish summer was here in Philadelphia all year round, but we'll take a week in the beginning and a week in the end until we get back down to fall and all that nasty shit. But yeah, man, good to be back, COVID-free. And shout out my dad, Papa Maz, 69th birthday today.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah, great year. So happy birthday to him. Hopefully he's
nice year.
Yeah, happy
having
birthday,
a good day.
Pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, good to be back here.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you
happy
last week.
Birthday to you as well.
I did a couple. No, I didn't do a shout to you on the pod last week. Jacob and I did one after I recorded. So yeah. And then we did a couple here for you on your at your birthday party on Saturday.
Yes.
How's it feel to be 36? You're the elder statesman of the pod.
Yeah, about the same, man. You know, closer to 40 than 30 now, officially.
Yeah. You're about to be over the hill.
Yeah, dude.
Numbers will be doing that.
But you know what I always say, man? 40's the new 30.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Age is just a number, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to live at least like 120 years old. You know, I'm gonna be like one of those like monks that are like 1,000 years old. That just you ever see that video? That one, I think he's some kind of monk or something. He's supposed to be the oldest man in the world, and he just looks like a skeleton. He just looks like a straight up skeleton. I was like, I don't know. I mean, at that point, maybe just kill me.
Yeah, why would you want to be alive?
If I can't move around and do things that I enjoy doing, just put me out.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Whether that's at 75
trying to be
or
like,
86.
who's that guy? Jack LaLanne, that old guy who can like swim a lot or something.
Oh, swimmers do be living for a long time.
That's a healthy lifestyle.
It's the cold water that'll do it to you.
Yeah.
Keeps the
It's
blood
a bunch
flowing.
of stuff. The exercise, it's a low resistance, or not low resistance, low stress.
Apparently they say like
body.
in your 30s is when you have to start being really active. And that'll kind of set the tone for, if you're going to...
Can't get too active too quick, though. If you go pretty dormant throughout your whole life, then you want to get active. You see people like that gym teacher got a heart attack because he wanted to run all of a sudden.
Yeah.
He got a heart
Well,
attack.
you don't have to go crazy. I'm just saying. Like
That's what was just a 5K. But, then you got people that live to be 100 that, like, still smoke cigs and drink
smoke
Coors
a
Light all
pack
day.
every day and drink a couple beers every day. You
Just
never
eat
know, man.
shitty food, and that's it.
Just all about them genetics.
Man.
Your family's got good genes.
Yeah. I think so.
What's the oldest person that you knew that was alive that...
I mean, I think most of my grandparents made it I think they were both in their 90s.
Okay,
you're
your family's
good.
got good
I mean,
genes.
they're pretty good for a while,
Yo, who's the oldest person you know?
Oldest person I know personally? That's a good question.
Trevor.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Oldest person I know?
You got like a great grandparent or something?
Oh, well, I only had two. My grandparents passed, I think, before I made it out of high school.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. That's life, baby. Things happen. We had a good run. I don't know. I mean, I probably know, but off the top of my head, I can't. I got to think of like who I know.
Yeah, I
and
don't
how
know
old they are.
exactly how old all my relatives are. Probably one of my aunts or uncles or something.
Doesn't have to be a relative. I know my answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dean's grandmom.
Oh, that's
Vovo,
true.
She's 99, dude.
Yeah, damn, dude.
Damn.
She's about to get that
Centennial.
birthday. Yeah, she's about to get that.
Centenarian.
Centenarian.
Do we know when her
Centenarian?
birthday is?
She just had her birthday, so she'll be
okay.
100 in like
So
July next year.
Don't you get a birthday card from the president if you make it to 100?
Oh, for real?
I think that's a thing, isn't it?
I have no clue. If you turn
I've
100,
heard about that.
I don't know anyone that ever
just
turned 100. I don't think.
I don't know.
I think I was going to say, is she going to get a Christmas card from Biden or a birthday card from Biden? Or
Well, how does that work out for Jimmy Carter? Does he write himself a card, or does that?
He's dead, dude.
He about to make
He's
it.
still
He's
kicking,
99. He's kicking.
He's never going to die.
They want you to think he's alive. For all intents and purposes, that man's dead.
He's going to be 120 still building those houses,
Yeah,
baby.
it's not some deep state conspiracy. Just an old man.
He's dead.
He's just old. Yeah, well, what's the motivation?
Days at a time.
Right.
He's, as far as I'm concerned,
Avery's like, they're keeping him alive for everybody.
Who stands to gain by faking his aliveness?
He was saying something like, yeah, I promise I will make it to the election to vote for Kamala and to not vote for Trump. It's like, he didn't say that. His PR said that. That man's dead.
I don't think he's said anything in quite a while.
I don't think he's mute like that. I think he's okay. I just
he can't talk.
I think
he can barely move.
People get on hospice and they get low. They start chirping sometimes.
Get that last little wind, that extra.
Might be for 5 minutes a day, but he got something. He ain't building houses no more. But damn, I can see him out there hitting 100.
Yeah. My man's skin and bones.
Conspiracy theory. Avery's like, this is all part of a larger plan.
I just don't think he's alive. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It's just they want him to make it to 100. They want him to make it to election. Then it's be like, oh yeah, he's dead. He's been dead for 3 months.
For not being a conspiracy theorist, you're saying a lot of theys and a lot of
turn into like a like an MF Doom situation where he was like dead for months before he announced it.
Yeah, he's dead.
It's just.
If Jimmy Carter is not dead, I will do. It's like,
yeah, I will do.
I mean, we don't really have a way to confirm or deny, other than
what his son says.
The elite media tells you.
The liberal elites. Yeah. I don't trust
the fake news media.
Yeah, you know who else I ain't trusting right now? The Phillies.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, man.
Still very sus. I don't think this 12-run win or whatever.
10 runs.
I think it's up to 12 or 13.
They won 13-3.
13-3.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I'm not all in. I think last time I was here, so 2 weeks ago, I was at a level 7 of worry. And they went what they win 4 or 6?
They won 4 and 6, which I said I wanted them to go 5 and 5 on the road trip. But if they went 4 and 6, depending on how the 4 and 6 looked, I'd be okay with it.
I think the 4 and 6 was still pretty ugly, to be honest.
Exactly.
I think that you can't go. I don't think going on the road and going 4 and 6 is great when the losses are, what was it, 13, 12. You're giving up.
Yeah, you're losing 11-1, 13-5 the last 2 games to the team, right?
Even going into that, you were at home and got your ass beat by the Yankees, double-digit runs just about every game, and then you go away and you get the same thing done.
Yeah, like the Dodgers series aside, which the Dodgers series was after, like, I recorded that pod and I was excited because, they beat a good team and seemed like they were getting back on track. Then they go to Arizona, they win the first game. It's like, okay, we definitely back. Then they lose 3 in a row, including losing the last 2 games by 10 runs and like 8 runs.
Yep.
So yeah, so that 4 and 6, if they lost the last 2 games, let's say they lost each of the last 2 games by a run, you're like, all right, 4 and 6, not bad. But to lose those last 2 games to the team that eliminated you in the playoffs last year, who you damn well could play again in the playoffs this year.
Yep.
So yeah, they came back home and I was just down. And then to lose first game of the Marlins series 5-0. So here's the deal, right?
Pathetic.
Bad. So I was at that game.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
God damn.
That guy was throwing 88, 89. He wasn't throwing gas.
Bad.
He was butt.
It was bad.
Then the Diamondbacks game on Sunday, the Diamondbacks tried to punt that game. They started half their bench.
Yep.
They still put up 13 runs.
Yeah, so I think I'm still at a 5 right now. I backed down a little bit because they've done it okay, but I'm not overly back yet with the Phils. Yeah,
I mean, we'll have to see a little bit more. It's nice that they beat up on the Nationals tonight, who are a bad team, but, they should beat up on these bad teams, so hopefully they can, maybe win at least 3 of these. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm still about where I was. Maybe a little tick more.
You were what, a 4?
I think. Is that what I said? A 4?
I think you said a 4. I was at a 4.
Maybe a 4.
And we were the same.
Maybe a 4.5. But I mean, I still think they're going to come out of it. It's just, it's just kind of unclear what their true like level
identity
is,
or
what
whatever.
I mean?
Like they don't. I think to your point, they have to either sweep or like win. What do they play them 4 times? So win 3 out of 4. I'll be happy with that. They can't let that one loss be a 10-2 loss. Either, like keep it close at least.
Yeah.
But then you have, to your point too, Avery, earlier. Like I looked at the schedule again too. Like even though they're ranked at having the 10th or 12th, whatever it is, weakest schedule from here on out. The next 3 series are the Braves, Kansas City, the Braves again, Houston, Toronto, who's whatever. But you don't necessarily have an easy stretch for the next month. And if you're on this bubble of, is the pitching kind of shaky right now, that's fine, but the bats have to be there. Right now, it's like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. You got everybody back from a health standpoint. Turner's been miserable. Cassie's been his Cassie self.
Cassie's been pretty good now.
It's a sad day, though, when he has one of the better averages on the team compared to everybody else. Schwarber was like 0 for 13 before he hit that grand slam. Like, they're nothing's clicking right now. And it's showing big time against whether it's the Marlins or a good team. But I think that this series, they have to really level set and get this shit right before you have the Braves, who are chomping at the bit right behind us, Kansas City, who's really good, and the Braves again right away. And then at the end of that whole stretch, you have the Marlins again, which are just annoying. I don't know what it is. I mean, they got rid of all their best players, and we still got our ass beat. Like, that was just frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of this team, right? Like you said it really well. Whatever can go wrong has gone wrong. The bats aren't hitting. You have Jeff Hoffman suddenly giving up runs left and right. Jose Alvarado can't find the strike zone. Trey Turner can't hit or field. What do you call it? Brandon Marsh is striking out like 40% of his at-bats. Yeah. Just everything's bad.
Harper's not consistent.
It's just...
Take out today. Let's take out today. Maybe the last
one. I'm ignoring...
He's been better lately.
I think as a whole, after the All-Star break, though, he has not been himself.
He hasn't been as good.
No.
He certainly hasn't been as good. He had that 0 for 30 streak or whatever.
Right.
But taking aside today, they just beat the Nationals 13-3. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of good to be excited about.
Even Stott's been shit in the bed.
Yeah,
I wanted to bring him up. I mean, is it time to have the conversation, like, is this guy a major league player? Because I don't know, man.
I think...
Damn.
I think it...
Oof. And this is a guy who I was excited about when he first came out. I thought he had a really good approach to the plate. But, I mean, this is year 3 now.
Yeah,
he's putting up worse numbers than he did his rookie season.
His rookie year wasn't great.
He hasn't really progressed. Doesn't really just have a lot of power. I mean, I think it was last night. I was watching the game, and he made contact on a pitch that when you're watching it, it looks like oh man, he like really got that one. I was expecting it to go out, and it just died like in the middle. I was like, I don't know, man. Like good in the field. And I mean, I guess, maybe, I don't know if maybe we're just spoiled from having Chase Utley for so long that we expect our second baseman to be like a plus, offensive contributor. But I mean, I don't know, man. I'm kind of teetering on being out on this guy.
It makes you wonder, at what point then, during this stretch, do they potentially move Sosa over to his spot then and have him and Trey out there? I mean, Sosa's really, every time Trey goes in a slump, Sosa really does hold his own. I mean, you could say... This month, 2 months ago, the start of the season, I mean, Sosa has been one that's been probably the most consistent plug-and-play guy on the whole roster. Hasn't done anything too crazy, but he doesn't do enough to fuck up the game. And I think he's really been a standout this season as someone that you can rely on, really, when someone's in a slump that way. I mean, every time he's subbed in for Trey, he has done great. And you wonder then, to your point, is it time to test him out then where Stott is at and have that bat be, you get Trey then.
Meanwhile, Scott Kingery's actually been
doing pretty fucking good.
Yeah, in AAA. The guy who's somehow still in the Phillies organization.
He's like 30 now.
Yeah. Well, they tried to give him like one of the, like the Evan Longoria deal.
Yeah,
they thought that he was going to be
I remember that, yeah.
Like sign him for like a, like an 8-year deal or some shit, for cheap.
And he was bad.
And it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, maybe call him up. But these Stott numbers, this was after the D-back series, so it doesn't include the last 2 games, which he's been a little better. But for the month of August, as of August 11th, he was batting 2 for 30 with 1 homer, 2 RBIs, and a 233 OPS. We're not talking a 233 OBP.
That's abysmal.
That's an OPS of 233. That's horrible.
And like his season stats aren't much
no.
good either. Like
he might have 10 more home runs. I mean, I think he's got 12 this year.
If even, he might only have 10 total.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all this talk about platooning Rojas and Marsh, Rojas has actually been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we platoon Stott and Sosa?
That's
you know
what
I mean? Like, like get Stott out of there against lefties. He hasn't been hitting them. He isn't good in the clutch. Like, he doesn't need to be playing in these games. Oh, the Eagles just took the lead.
Oh,
14-13.
Wow.
But anyway.
They got a field goal, I got you.
Yeah, they in 2-point conversion, so they're a 14-13. But yeah, where was I with that? The Eagles messed my train of thought up.
Just with platoon and Stott, having him having a down year and all that. I mean, and also everywhere else below the Phillies right now in terms of AAA and all that. I mean, the young guys have been looking really good. So you got a lot of young talent chopping at the bit. Where I'm sure they won't make a move this year, do anything crazy that way, unless you put Sosa in there for a game or two and see how that works out. But you got to figure at least Baum made an All-Star game this year. Like he showed out to be a true, solid block of that team at third base. Stott's been kind of, hit or miss this year. Fielding, great. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Offensively,
but
he's just been
offensively, he's just, you see him slipping down. At one point last year, we had him at the number 1 spot, and he was killing it. Now he's at 5, and you're like, I don't even know if he should be there.
Yeah, he should be like number 8, number 9, quite frankly.
Honestly. So it's sad to see, but again, it's a weird major slump from the team as a whole perspective. We'll see if they can bounce back and get themselves out of that, but they really got to start swinging. Today was a great sign for that. Shout out Weston Wilson with the cycle, 10th one ever for the Phils, but can they be consistent? And I think that's what we said at the beginning of the year, too, is that this team...
Oh, I've been on this train. Yep.
With the talent that they have, we know they go through these down slumps, and that's fine, but can they grab this win, not get too high, and beat up on the bad teams while you can to get recalibrated? Because you're going to have a tough stretch coming down here with other teams making a big push.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on this train about the team regressing in their approach really since the start of the season. Like I said, I'm not the type of person to say a toe so. Or the toe so. A fucking a toe so. So, yeah, I mean, their approach right now is just so many guys. Their approach is just bad. The Trey Turner I talked about 2 weeks ago when we were all here. Just swinging at everything, down and away, up and away, off the plate. Just...
He's too aggressive.
Yeah, just popping everything up. Just no approach. Who else? Real Muto, I just think he's kind of washed. I mean, the injury, and he's just a catcher. He gets beat up a lot. He catches a lot of games.
He also hasn't played a whole lot, too, this year, which I think you're seeing a little bit of his inconsistency that way.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help. He probably hasn't gotten in a rhythm, but also he's just, for a catcher, he's old. Casty is always inconsistent. As much as we love him, he's very inconsistent. Wet Brandon just swinging at everything. Yeah. His strikeout percentage for the season is like 38%. 38% of his at-bats, he strikes out.
Yeah.
You can't have that. And yeah, it's just like the Diamondback series was kind of illuminating in that the Diamondbacks, they just go up there and try to make contact, right?
Which we did at the beginning of the season. That's how we got to where we were before the All-Star break. It wasn't everybody swinging for the fences trying to be the hero. It was small ball, hit the gap, get on base, steal base, get him in on a double. I mean, Alec Baum, all his RBIs came on RBI doubles. I mean, that's what he did. When people would get on, he cleared the bases, you call it a day, you're up by 4 by the 5th inning. Now, you're down 2-3-0, which for this team should be a pretty easy deficit to come back from. But you get in there top of the 5th or top of the 6th, and guys are just trying to swing for the fences, and they're not making great contact. They're not making great swings. It's just sad to see. It's like, what are we doing here? Get back to the basics. Looks like today they did a little bit because they only had 1 or 2 home runs, maybe 3, but probably 3 home runs with Weston Wilson hit 1. But a lot of those runs too came from just getting on base, getting doubles, making the outfield make a play, mess up. If they get back to that, they'll be all right. They got speed and they have great bats. They just got to get out of their own head.
Yeah, they got to stop swinging for the fences trying to play hero ball, which maybe they'll get there. Maybe these last couple games are a sign of that, but I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt. These last 2 games are against basement teams, right? The schedule's going to, like you said, the schedule's going to get tough again.
Yeah. Now's the time to get recalibrated. You're playing a shitty team that you should beat. Don't win 3-2 every time. A day like today is a good kind of, breath of fresh air. Guys that aren't normally playing are getting good hits, getting good contact, getting excited. Get the mojo back. Take it with a grain of salt in the clubhouse and move forward and take care of work here with the Nats.
Yeah.
Because then you got to go to work against the Braves and everybody else coming through.
Yeah, the Royals again. Yep. Yeah, so where do y'all think they end up? Like, I know it's August 14th. We have a season. What do we have left in the season? A month and a half, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's too early to make predictions, but how are y'all feeling about, I mean, this time 2 weeks ago, they were the first seed in the NL and were competing for a number one seed in the whole MLB. What do you think now?
I still think they're going to win a division.
That's essentially
still
a foregone
up,
conclusion.
6.5 games, whatever.
It'd take a Mets in 07 level collapse, which this team seems capable of, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, no. So I'm not worried about that. As far as getting the best record in the league, I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. Because the Dodgers went through a big slump earlier in the year. They look like they're kind of back on track. They're getting healthier.
Yeah, Mookie Betts is back. That's a top 3-5 player in the majors. He just came back.
So I kind of feel like they're going to edge us out for that number one seed in the league. Which whatever. I don't think it's. It's not. It's not football. I don't think it matters as much to me in baseball. It would be nice to have home field advantage through the. At least through the until you get to the World Series potentially, but
yeah, I think they hold down the number one seed in the division. I think that there's definitely a chance where they're competing for a top 3 spot now instead of just the number 1 in the NL. I think it's definitely doable. It really depends on how they shake out these next few series, but I think that they have a pretty easy shot to. Just don't fuck it up too bad. You get the NL East, you're good to go. But I think they really got to find that composure and consistency to be able to hold down get that number 1 spot.
Yeah, I don't know about the number 1 because here's the deal, right? So I looked it up on Tankathon to see remaining strength of schedules. Everyone's kind of in the same boat of the NL contenders. So Arizona's got the toughest. Their opponents have a 508 winning percentage. Milwaukee a 507, the Phillies a 496, the Dodgers a 494. But you got to keep in mind, the Phillies 496 includes these 4 against the Nationals. The Phillies, like you said, still have some tough games left. They got to go to Milwaukee for 3 games yet. That's going to be a huge series. If they come out of that series okay, then yeah, it's probably a foregone conclusion they're a top 2 seed. If they don't get the top 2, then they don't get a bye. And they got to play someone in the wild card round, which... they'll go in as a favorite and they'll host that series. But, this team just got swept at home.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. Granted, it's not the Yankees, but it could be the Diamondbacks.
Right.
Could be the Padres. Could be someone else that's coming in here with something to play for.
Yeah, and it's
something to prove.
3-game playoff series, anything can happen. We've seen plenty of... we've seen 100-win teams get knocked out in that round.
We've been the wild card team that's taken now the 100-win.
Exactly.
Padres.
Right. Just as easily be on the other end of that. Yep. So, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really know what to think.
I don't want to look too far ahead yet. I think right now, similar to how they have to play to win games, we got to play small ball here. We got to take care of the series ahead of us, not worry too much that's out of our control. Anybody else could have a meltdown, and then next thing you know, we're a clear shot for number 1 seed. I think this team's gotten a little bit too complacent in looking at we're the best team. Every report that comes out, best team in baseball, second best team in baseball, whatever. Especially before the All-Star break. I think that they need to just really dial it in and focus on series by series at this point to recalibrate and reset, because it's great to look ahead and think about, okay, well, 3 weeks from now we play Milwaukee. Cool, that could be a great series. If we shit the bed way before that, that series won't mean shit anyway. So, or if you take care of business and you sweep the Nationals, you do great against the Braves, you do great against KC, then you're okay. Then that series isn't as built up as it is. But I think that the team has to kind of take a step back, and us too, and let them obviously see what they do tomorrow. They can come out tomorrow and lose 10-2 as well, and then we're back in the same boat. But
exactly, you don't know with this team. I don't know. Consider this though, right? I guess this is a couple pods ago where I was like, yeah, they've basically been a 500 team over their last 10 games, 20 games, 38 games, 52 games. So now, man, since the London series, I guess this is a couple days ago, so they're now 26-30. Since July 1st, they're 16-21, and since the All-Star break, they're 9-16.
Yeah, I know, it's been an
so
ugly
they've been trending
here.
badly. So to think, I don't know. People have been giving me grief in the group chat and a couple other group chats saying, "Yeah, you need to be back on. Like they're fine. They figured it out." I mean, when they are under 500 for basically their last 60 games, I don't need to be back on anything.
Well, plus two, I think before this game today, the run differential this team had before the All-Star break was plus 100. Now it's negative 25.
You mean since the All-Star break?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
It's not like they're just losing games. I'll take a 3-2 tough series against
that
the
Arizona
Dodgers.
series, that was so disheartening.
I mean, even the Yankees too. Like, you play tough teams. We're supposed to be.
The Yankees hit like 5 home runs in that first game.
You're ranked as, you've been in the top 3 literally all season, having one of arguably the best bullpens too of the whole season when that was coming out and all that stuff. You lose against the Yankees 5-4. I'll take that. You lose against the Yankees, you lose against anybody else 12-4, 12-5. That's just defeating as a team. Like,
I mean, you can sit here and be like, well, it's still just one loss or whatever,
right.
But that's just demoralizing.
Exactly.
I mean? Like,
you're sitting there in the 5th inning, you're down by 8. You're like, the fuck, that one home run you hit in the 7th inning isn't. You could do the whole shimmy shake. That shit doesn't do anything. You still go back into the fucking shitty locker room down 11-2 at home. You're like, well, we'll go back out there tomorrow. We're going to put this behind us. No, you guys are definitely getting fucked up with that. At home.
Yeah, it weighs on you. That's why they had to have a team meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they finally had enough to talk about it. There are some grievances.
In between the Marlins, though, and the Nationals, like, they didn't have a team meeting.
Yeah, they should have
coming off the
had
Yankees,
a team
coming
meeting.
off the Dodgers or Diamondbacks. You're like, hold on now. The Marlins made us really think about this real quick.
Yeah, we lost 5-0 to a guy throwing 88.
Like, what?
It's like, you should have had it, but I don't know. I want to be back on. I really do. I hope that at the end of the day, they make my Negadelphian ass eat crow. But I don't know. I got to see it to believe it.
I think this team and any Philly team works the best off of negative reinforcement. So if they haven't earned it yet, Trey Turner's mom, you got to give his bitch ass a call. Figure that shit out. All the moms got to call their boys if they need to. But this team needs some kind of mojo switch ASAP because it's not. This one meeting for today, I guarantee you will not cut it tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I really have anything else. I had some statistics about how bad some of
I
these
guess
guys have been.
one little bit of good news that Ranger looks like he's going to be back pretty soon.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, part of this bad stretch is you've having to fucking see, like, these guys at the back of our rotation now.
Tyler Phillips. I love a local kid, but he's been getting exposed.
Yeah. And then
Kobe Allard, Allard, after I shit talked him on last week's pod, he came out and did pretty well.
Yeah.
And then after I was like, I'm excited for Taijuan Walker to come back.
On his birthday.
Yeah.
He did not do, to be fair.
On his fucking birthday.
He gave up like 3 or 4 runs. If the offense did anything, he probably wins that game. But he didn't look particularly great.
In the first inning, though, you can't be going down 2-0 in the first at home like that.
He didn't look great. I mean,
someone pointed out that the entire Marlins payroll is less than Taijuan Walker's yearly salary.
What?
Yeah, it's like the Marlins' whole payroll is like $18 million or something, and Taijuan's making like 18 something. Yeah,
I would take the entire Marlins team over him any day.
Straight
of the
to
week.
prison.
Yeah, he needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
I regret saying I was excited for him to come back. I truly do.
I'd rather have Derek Hall with his bitch ass hands come back than fucking Walker.
Yeah, that was. I did the solo pod with the thought in mind I was going to come out with some pretty hot takes. That was the hottest take that just went absolutely nowhere. But hey, man, if I'm by myself, I gotta come out with some ridiculous things to say to keep people listening.
Yeah, man.
You said if Pat's not here, I gotta say something crazy real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta hold it down.
What'd y'all think of my other take about the most popular the most popular Philadelphia athlete postseason run in our lifetimes? I said Utley was before Big Dick Nick. Was that controversial?
We're talking about postseason runs?
Yeah, postseason, not like careers. And then I said Kelsey was out because he's a center. You don't think of him the same way.
To be honest.
Think of a quarterback or a star second baseman or a shooting guard.
No, I don't think you could count it a lineman.
So you're saying Utley 08?
Did you listen to my pod?
I did. I just don't remember every little detail.
Man,
I listened to the whole thing.
I said Utley 08 was number 1. I said Foles was 2. Then I had AI 3 because he didn't win.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I would probably put Foles number 1 just because it was so.
It was epic.
Improbable, and you couldn't. If you wrote that as a movie, people would be like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. This is a stupid movie."
Yeah, And the way he performed in the Super Bowl too, he didn't just skate by it.
True.
Yeah.
500 plus passing yards.
I mean, it was. He literally had the 3, arguably the 3 best games of his life
ever
in the playoffs to win a Super Bowl.
True.
Though he did also have the. That's 7 touchdown game against the Raiders. That was pretty
I mean, that game was awesome. I still am pissed off at Chip Kelly for pulling him out of that game.
Yeah, I was at Lucky 13 for that one. I remember watching that at Lucky.
There was a fourth quarter. I'm like, you got plenty of time. He's like, well, it's not about records. I'm like, bullshit. It is about records. Like, give the man
go for 8, dude. Who the hell cares?
One more touchdown. He's finding everybody and their mother that's wide open in the end zone. What are we doing here? But damn. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd probably put Nick Foles up there too.
Fair enough. Like I said, I think
it's a respectable jump up.
I had to come out with some outlandish takes.
I think it's a definitely good take, but I think, like you said, I was just.
The other thing too, I mean, you could.
Utley's more handsome,
especially against a team that you did it to. Nick Foles beat it was like Samson and Goliath, or David and Goliath.
The other thing with Utley too is, I mean, I get the point of winning versus losing, but his run in 09 was probably better than. I mean, he tied Reggie Jackson's home run
he was
record
the man in 09.
Yeah.
Like, his overall postseason career is by far more accomplished.
Oh, definitely.
He had a more epic championship moment after, a more epic parade moment. World fucking champions, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nick Foles would never drop an F-bomb.
Absolutely not.
Well, had Alshon caught that ball, I mean, maybe you're talking now.
Yeah.
Another deep playoff run. Maybe Nick Foles could be
the double dunk game was pretty off the chain. Yeah,
but that was tough.
It's a tough pick either way, but Utley's more handsome.
Oh, I mean, hands down, but smaller dick.
Sure.
Yeah, true.
But more of a dog, so he uses it more. So it's a it's.
Yeah. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah. Heavy is the head.
Heavy is something else, too.
That wears a magnet.
Foles, you know what I mean? Yep.
But, well, in that transition, we could talk briefly about the Birds then.
Yeah, what's the score of this preseason
is that game wrapped up yet or still going?
Let's see. It was 14-13. I just got the push notification. It is.
Already undefeated. Here we go, baby.
Yeah, if we could go 2-0 in the preseason.
We might never lose a game again.
It's 14-13. We got the ball with 1:02
left.
It's
over, baby. What down is it?
3rd and 13. Uh-oh. But we're at the New England 36, so we can kick a field goal.
All right.
We good.
Yeah, we're all right.
So, man. About to be 2-0 in the preseason.
Good week of joint practice. I don't really read a whole lot about all that other stuff. Another week of practice going by. Another week of relatively healthy. So to me, that's the biggest win in anything.
We did see Steen leave this game.
Well, I mean, true impact starter kind of guys.
Yeah, Pat's boy is going to be the starter. Pat called this.
Yeah.
He called this from the beginning. Yeah. Before preseason started, he said it.
Called it from the jump. I think it just made sense. Obviously, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think it's unfortunate Steen had that ankle injury. He got carted off. Could just be out of caution. He's got some time to come back. We don't know really what it is yet. But, I mean, you got a guy with that size. I think that's a great fit for right guard. He only had 8. The only thing I'm cautious about, he only had 8 snaps against Baltimore. So, obviously, that's a starter kind of rep. However, the dude's been, I mean, every other thing I see is throwing up or out of shape. So, I would at least like to see him get. Again. Yeah, I'd like to see him get a whole quarter or 2, maybe a whole half.
Yeah, is he going to be throwing up between downs?
That's what I'm saying.
Is he going to be like McNabb in 04 in the huddle just puking?
Right, and he's not getting hit by fucking Teddy Bruschi every time. He's just walking around. So we'll see. But yeah, man, I mean, I think it's his spot to lose for sure, especially with Steen going down. No one else really looked that impressive as a guard standpoint on the right side of the ball. But
that's definitely their least deep position on the O-line, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, Landon's on the. You're good. You got nothing else
the
to
left
really.
Side's...
You got Cam in the center. You got
Lane. You got on the right side. Yeah, you're good.
That's really it. I mean, you go any thinner, if you lose anybody else, now we're back into 2016, 2015 era.
Darian Kennard's been playing good. Even Lane was like, yeah.
He's been playing good. Anytime you have, I think that's the one position, though, that you really need to have health and continuity, because you put a rookie in there between, no offense, but like you got a first-year starter center in Cam Jurgensen in the center position. You got Mulata on the left tackle. I don't know if I love having two guards that one's out of shape and one's a fucking plug-and-play kind of guy. That's not looking great. It could go real south real quick is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
I trust Stoutland.
Again, another week of health relative, I'm okay with that.
I trust Stoutland University, man. Yeah. Stoutland will coach these guys
That's
up.
why I called out Becton right away. I said, this guy, I mean, you got the prototype. You're 6'6", 300-some pounds, a first-round pick. Of course you played late year. You played for the Jets your whole career. Like, what did you expect?
Dude, speaking of the Jets.
Yeah, this is Son Reddick.
Oh, my God,
yeah.
dude. What is wrong with that team, man?
Why would you trade for him knowing damn well he wants more money and you're not going to give it to him?
For those who maybe don't know what we're talking about, Hassan Reddick, who was traded to the Jets, has requested a trade from the Jets. He's held out of, he's not shown up to any practices or camp. And
I don't think he's even been in the country this whole time, so I think he's still in
Japan. I think he's back in the country, but that was funny. See him in Japan, just walking around the streets.
Yeah, it's just wild. I just don't understand how you could trade for a guy who, the Eagles are getting rid of because they don't want to give him the deal that he wants, and think that you're going to be able to just slot him in there without giving him the deal that he wants.
Yeah, what do they think is going to happen?
Like, oh yeah, I'm going to come to a worse team and just play on my current contract.
I'm going to play on this turf that everyone gets hurt on under this mediocre contract that I want more money than.
And they've come out their general. I think the team.
Joe Douglas was usually pretty smart with being a.
Yeah,
I love.
And they came out with a statement saying that they do not plan on trading him. Like
when he was here, he did great. I love Joe Douglas. I think he's the one that helped build that roster to get us to win the Super Bowl too. Did the same thing with Baltimore a couple. I mean, obviously many years ago, but he's a great GM, well respected around the league. I don't understand what happens when people go to New York to play for the Jets or be a part of the organization that your brain stops working. You let go of a guy who's younger than who you got, who you could have just kept, and you essentially had a younger Hassan Reddick kind of style player who had a career year at the position that you just traded for to get a disgruntled vet who wants more money, and now you have no one playing D-end, and you got a guy that it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
and
that was stupid.
The most Howie move would be somehow if we somehow get Hassan Reddick back, that would be hysterical.
I don't think that happens because we're not going to give him the contract he wants either. But that would be funny.
It would be. It would be like the most. It would be a Howie Roseman move.
Six-dimensional chess going on there.
I mean, Howie does stuff like that sometimes. To be fair,
I would not put it past him. If we're talking like into the season and you get to like the mid-season, I'm talking about trade deadline.
Yeah,
that could be mid-season. He's going to be fresh because he probably won't be playing. And the Jets will be pissed off.
He gets fined each game he doesn't play. You think he's just not going to play?
I think...
Then he's not only not getting money, he's losing money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look at your boy Ben Simmons. Clearly, it's something about being in New York like that.
My boy.
Yeah. Something about New York. You get to New York and you're like, I want more money, but I'm not going to play because I want more money. And they're not going to... There's just bad mojo in there.
Yeah. It's just bad business by the Jets. What are you thinking? It's like you give up an asset for someone that or like you give up an asset for an asset that you think is worth equal value, but the asset, like, I shouldn't even call them assets. A great player. I'm putting numbers on players. You give up a player that you feel like is okay for a player that is arguably better, like Hassan Reddick. He's more proven. We can't even say he's better. He's more proven.
Definitely. Knowing
damn well that the reason he doesn't want to play with the team that you're trading with is because they won't give him money. And you also know right away, we're not going to give him the money he wants. My understanding is the Jets gave him an offer that was more than the Eagles were offering, but it was below what Reddick wanted. And they knew it was below. And they knew it was below what he wanted, but they gave it to him anyway, thinking he was going to say yes. That's stupid.
He wants $25 million. That's all he said. We offered him 17 or 19 as a home,
and it's one thing, right? It's one thing for the Eagles to do that, where he literally played at Temple. He played down the street. And
he
grew up in Camden, and the Eagles are a Super Bowl contender.
Right.
Not saying the Jets aren't close. A lot of it depends on Aaron Rodgers' health, but they're not the Eagles.
No.
And they're not Philadelphia. New York isn't that much farther, but it's not the same. Like, you think that if the Eagles tried that and didn't work, somehow it's just going to fall into place for you?
Right.
On that turf, too? That's the other thing he's probably thinking. I go out there and play on this turf.
Right.
I'm going to mess up.
I blow my knee,
tear up my knee, my Achilles, then my whole career is over. I'm 30.
Yeah. And on the other side, too, you see now, what's it called? Huff over here, 4 tackles and 10 snaps, whatever it is, on the defense tonight. He's produced. I mean, all signs point to him being a pretty good fill-in for what Hassan was.
I don't think he'll be as good.
He hasn't really impressed too much in camp, but also there's like the caveat that he's been having to go up against Lane Johnson the whole time.
Or Malata.
But tonight he looked pretty good. Like, I remember that first series, like, he had some really good plays. So I'm feeling all right about him. But yeah, I mean, I don't expect him to be quite as good as Hassan Reddick, but
he might be as good as Hassan was last year, though. I mean, I don't think Hassan was
last year wasn't
he took
great.
A dip. I mean,
he won't be Hassan the Super Bowl year.
No, definitely
like 19 and a half sacks, including the postseason.
That was an all-pro caliber year for sure. But watching him throw a tight end across the field is just what Hassan does. Like, you still have to respect that man. And I'm okay with people kind of disrespecting Huff for this season because they don't know what he can do. But you hope that Jalen Carter and Graham and, all those other guys up front can kind of alleviate that stress and make him shine in a Vic Fangio kind of scheme, which is heavy blitz, which I love.
Yeah,
the linebackers are flying
are
around
a lot today.
So yeah, it just sucks. I mean, I wish that was the one that was tough to see him go, but I think I thought we won that trade from the jump.
Yep.
And now we're just owning that trade. That's just a stupid move by the Jets.
Yeah.
But all in all, a good offseason so far.
Yeah, I think as far as training camp preseason goes, it's been drama-free. I continue to harp on that. We're seeing this going on with the Cowboys. What do you call Jerry Jones is saying? What did he say? Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is not a high priority. Yeah. Then CeeDee Lamb retweets the video like LOL. Then the next day, Jerry Jones is like, oh, CD, you are missed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kiss his ass to get him back. So we don't have any of that. We don't have this Brandon Ayuk trade hanging over our heads. The Niners trying to trade him. Who knows what's going on with that?
Yep.
What else? Who else was holding in or whatever? Was Jamar Chase? He was, right?
He was. I don't know if
he's holding in. He wasn't holding out. He was going to practice, but wasn't practicing.
Which still is kind of dramatic too. It's like T.O. shit, except he's there. He's
That's
I'm not
some
gonna
NBA
play.
level of drama.
Yeah, it's like I'm showing up for the team, but okay, but you're not putting in the
Ben
work.
Simmons shit.
Yeah, it's just I'm just
showing
here.
up with his cell phone in his pocket.
Yeah,
his cell phone in the pocket,
reps.
just refusing to take the field.
Yeah.
So it's everything looks good. Everyone's been loving this scheme. I like seeing what I see from Kellen Moore's offense so far, even though it's only 2s and 3s and 4s and whoever else is out there. But no drama. They all have one mission, which is great. Washington could be pretty sneaky, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think
more and more they're going to be the second best team in the division.
People forget they got Austin Eckler. They got the guy from LSU as their quarterback. Their defense is okay. They got Bobby Wagner holding it down with a Dan Quinn.
They still got Terry McLaurin yet.
Yeah, with a Dan Quinn run team. So there's going to be a very strong. The defense wasn't bad last year.
Dude,
I lose some key pieces, but you still got Jonathan Allen as the front of your D line. Bobby Wagner as a head. Field general, that's going to be pretty difficult against this team coming up. And they've given us a hard time every season.
Yeah, they're always just frustrating.
And they got Bieniemy.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good, I shouldn't say a good team. They'll be number 2 in the division. They'll probably challenge for a wild card at the end of the day.
Well, you have 2 tough defensive-minded people, too, because Dallas even has Mike Zimmer, too, now.
They do?
Yeah. He's their D coordinator. So you have a lot of knowledge within, Brian Dabble is, I think, just a fat slob and is a fucking idiot. So I don't respect that team whatsoever. I think he's a fucking bum-ass coach. But I think that, Dallas at least has Mike McCarthy and Zimmer. They got a thing for Mike's. And then you got Washington. Dan Quinn is a smart coach
Dan Quinn
with a
and
young
Bieniemy.
team.
That's a good staff.
Bieniemy, they got a good thing going there, and an owner that wants to pay and have the team be built, which is annoying as shit. So we'll see. But yeah, fuck the Giants. Fuck that fat piece of shit.
So yeah,
they got a giant coach.
They do have a giant coach.
He's short though. He's not.
He's like a fire plug.
Exactly.
Well, he's giant.
He's a little hydrant.
He's
dude.
giant. horizontally.
Yeah, he's not Clint Hurt. He's not a unit like Clint Hurt.
Yeah,
No,
Clint Hurt's
I would put pads on his ass right now.
Yeah,
dude.
Clint
That guy's
Hurt.
massive.
Yeah. Even standing next to Jordan Davis is still bigger than him, but it's not by much.
I bet you Clint Hurt's probably in better shape, unfortunately.
Now, Jordan Davis has been looking slim.
Yeah,
we'll see. I don't know. I mean,
the thing with Jordan Davis is, can he keep staying slim? Once the season starts, is he going to gain a bunch of weight?
I think this season is bust radar right now.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he's the highest potential for bust?
Big time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
think that who else would be a potential for a bust?
I was gonna say Nakobe Dean, but he looked pretty good today.
His second round pick.
Jordan Davis is a first round pick.
You jumped up to get him, and hasn't really. The first year was out of shape or whatever. We can make excuses all we want. This is the year Fletcher Cox left.
I agree.
I think he's a true. Nakobe Dean could have been a stretch during that draft anyway, but I think that Jordan Davis, you put a lot of effort into picking him up. There's a lot of hype and excitement. Big giant man. But, are you going to be King Dunlap or are you going to be Fletcher Cox's replacement?
King Dunlap again.
Yeah.
I'll bring that back every time. Same size, same bust.
King Dunlap was a large man, dude, but that didn't do. He had a long career.
Yeah, he bounced around a lot. Yeah, he bounced around, yeah. But I think this year is a big Jalen Carter, we know is going to be a all-pro Pro Bowler one day. What's it called? Jordan Davis, he's got a lot to prove this year.
My understanding is the young D tackles have looked good in training camp. We haven't really gotten to see him in game action because starters haven't played too much, but I think he's looked okay. Just with him last year, you remember, he started the year, first 4 or 5 games, Jordan Davis was playing great ball. Then after that, he just slowed down, and he had that one play against the Bills.
That was it.
Where he ran Josh Allen out of bounds, and then after that,
he lost his breath all season.
That play just sucked the entire soul out of him, dude. He was butt after that.
He was done. I think he cramped up the whole rest of the season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, we will. I am excited, though. Maybe I was wrong about Trotter Jr. I might have been wrong.
Pretty good.
I'm not going to lie.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah. I think,
I'll eat my
Trevor
words.
here was saying we like Trotter from the jump.
Yeah, you can't be right 100% of the time, right? So I'm right about 97%. I'm right most of the time.
He said, I'm humble. I'm right about 98% of the time.
But nah, man, he's looked good, though. Even tonight's game, he looked good. Coming in, making plays on the run, diagnosing plays real quick. The Eagles might have gotten a really good, I shouldn't say really good, but a starting caliber linebacker in the 5th round. That's great.
Yeah, it's good value.
That's a good Takeo Spikes kind of guy. Don't need to get Pro Bowls, but he'll do the dirty work. He'll stop the run and the plugs and all that.
Takeo Spikes, you remember he's on the Eagles? He was nice.
His one quote, too, about B-Dog was always funny as shit, too.
What did he say? I don't know if I remember this.
B-Dog, they went out there to go do a play, and B-Dog said, I'm going to take the soul from this man. And Takeo Spikes was like, I don't know what he's on, but I want some of that. He's like, what the... But it's cool, too. Jeremiah Trotter Sr., his last sack as an Eagle was against Josh Johnson. And then Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s first sack ever in the NFL, preseason albeit, was against Josh Johnson.
That is wild. 15 years apart. This man's still playing quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's nuts.
What was I doing 15 years ago? I would have been just about to turn... I would have been just about to turn 20.
Trevor's Alzheimer's kicking and he said,
Trevor, you had just turned 21 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You were probably getting buck at the bars.
Oh, you know what? I remember when I first turned 21, and like a week later, we went to Folk Fest.
I never went to Folk Fest.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Damn. Pat, what were you doing 15 years ago? You were like
13.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were still in middle school yet.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, 15 years is a long time. That's wild that Josh Johnson...
Wait, Pat, do you remember 9/11?
What do you mean?
Is that when that plane hit the...
Well, yeah, I guess you would have been...
I was a baby.
How old would you have been?
I was 13. I remember we were in 7th grade.
We were in 7th grade English class. I remember that.
2001 was 20...
You were born in what, 95?
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah, you were 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
I got picked up.
Such an innocent mind.
Yeah, you didn't know what the hell was going on.
I was at someone's house. I got picked up by my dad. He left the shop early. Then we came home, put the TV on. We were like, this is a little weird. But, yeah. It was, a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being in 7th grade English class and like, what the hell is going on here? Then I remember walking around the halls. Everyone was freaking out.
I think my dad picked up my sister from high school. Then they picked me up. I was like, oh, nice. We got, like, whatever we're doing.
We got let out of school early, so that was cool.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that part. I remember everyone was freaking out in the hallways. I remember Mr. Tulane was, like, very serious. You remember him, the history teacher?
Yeah.
The big burly history teacher?
Yeah.
He was just standing around with a very stern look on his face. It was like, damn, what got into him? And I was like, oh, okay, that's why he looks like that. He was a true patriot, dude.
Did he sign up? Did he go to war?
He could have. That guy was brolic as hell for a geezer. His brother was a cop in Collingswood for a long time. Remember that? Mike Tulane?
Yeah, I think I do remember
that. Yeah, Mike Tulane was one of the worst cops in Collingswood.
Yeah.
He would, like, if he ever seen you, like...
He's no Officer Steve.
Nah, he would see you.
Officer Steve
you're walking around after curfew.
Officer Steve. Yeah, Officer Steve was our DARE officer.
Did you have DARE?
Yeah, we had DARE.
You had DARE.
Don't do drugs, all that shit.
What does DARE stand for? Drugs are
really exciting.
Evil.
Oh, wait,
yeah,
no, it was
something.
What does
something
DARE stand
against?
for? Yeah, it's something against
recreational enjoyment.
Yeah, but what's the D though?
What's the D? DARE.
Don't.
Whatever.
What is it though? I don't know.
Yeah,
don't look it up. We'll figure it out.
We don't prescribe to DARE as we're sitting here drinking on this.
Don't tell us that fully. Just give us a hint.
Yeah, what's the D stand for?
Drinking against.
No, I feel like the D is drugs are bad, or no?
It's drug abuse resistance education.
I would never.
Well, that really stuck
that.
with us then. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as we're drinking right now.
Yeah.
But Officer Steve was our DARE guy. He was a nice guy, man. One of the few policemen I ever really liked in life. But yeah, Tulane was an asshole. You'd be walking around after curfew,
dude,
just not even doing anything wrong.
I remember
just being out at 10:05.
I remember I remember one time I was like, I don't know. We used to when I was in like middle school or whatever. We used to hang out at like that coffee shop on Haddon Ave sometimes, and like I remember one time I was like, I think it was like my dad or whatever was gonna come pick me up, and I'm just like sitting with I forget who was with me. We were just like sitting on that bench outside. And he like pulls up and rolls his window down and starts yelling at us. And I'm just like, dude, I'm literally waiting for my fucking parents to come pick me up. Like, what else do you want me to do? Like, I can't just teleport to my fucking house. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, yeah, he was a dick and a half, man.
Yeah, people told me a bunch of things. He got arrested for domestic abuse, like beating his wife.
Shocker.
Apparently, he got caught with a bunch of cocaine one time.
Damn. Yeah, he was probably on cocaine when he was patrolling around yelling at kids.
Yeah, he was a bad man. I was in a punk band growing up. We wrote a song called Police Brutality, man. It was all about him. It's all about him. But anyway, shout out Mr. Tulane, the teacher.
Yeah, Mr. Tulane, the teacher was good. Yeah, social studies. Dude, he was great. I remember when he would give out the easiest extra credit shit. Like we had a whole section of the year was just about the Holocaust, and we had a test on it, and he was like, you get 1 point of extra credit on the test by just list everything, any fact that you learned about the Holocaust, and you could just write the most obvious shit. It's just you could just write 1, the Nazis were bad. 2, a lot of people died in the Holocaust. 3, it happened in Europe, and he would get points for everything. He was the easiest teacher ever. He was he presented as a hard ass, but was actually
he was
the
a
easiest.
Teddy bear, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Mr. Tulane. But anyway, where were we? We were talking about 9/11.
Talking about 9/11 and the Eagles.
What else do I have written down about the Eagles? Oh, I got a take.
Okay.
When it comes to linebackers, because
Linebacker situation is kind of interesting.
A lot of these guys are playing good.
Like,
Bond was looking good tonight.
You
said N'Kobe Dean.
Devin White looks
nice. Devin White's filling the cup.
Trotter, obviously. So
Johnson, is there a Johnson too in there? You're looking
Patrick
all right.
Johnson, he's a D end.
Oh, all right. Well, he's been floating up, staying up too a little bit.
So here's my take. I don't think they're going to have a starting linebacker group. They're going to rotate these guys a lot. They're not going to have like 2 linebackers play all the snaps. They're going to rotate a lot. So here's the deal. Dean and Trotter are really good against the run. I think we started to see them already getting in the A and B gaps. And then White and Bond, like Bond's also good on the run and can blitz. White's really fast. In theory, he should be able to cover. So I think they're going to rotate these guys a lot. And they're going to play a lot of big nickel, where you have the one nickel back be the safety. So it's basically like a 4-3. And big dime, where you have three corners, the linebacker in the middle, and then another safety. Mm-hmm. And they're just going to rotate these guys depending on the matchup and depending on the down. That's not that hot of a take, I don't think. I think they're going to use the personnel smartly. I
think so. I mean, they look pretty quick, too. Like, he's a lot of blitzes, too, this preseason, which we haven't seen a whole lot with this
Johnny
team.
Gans, Sean Desai, Matt Patricia would never blitz.
No blitz. Or if they were blitzing, you're like, oh, that's a blitz. You could tell right away. You're like, well, this is not going to work.
And the opposing team would snuff it out every time.
Similar to where, like, I feel like Kellen Moore has a lot of motion on the offensive side of the ball. Vic Fangio, for being able to sit up at the top, too. They're moving around a lot, too, on the defensive side.
Yeah.
They're like
there's a lot of shifts.
Yeah,
there's a lot of games and stunts on the D-line. Yep.
Making it tough for quarterbacks to dissect. And, there's a lot of young quarterbacks in the league this year, too, that you play. I mean, Jordan Love has been around for a little bit, but week 1 will be tough for him to play against this defense, whoever's playing linebacker, just given the fact that it's a new defensive scheme. You don't really have a whole lot to go after to study. But, I think they're going to have an interesting, similar how they rotate a lot on the defensive front. They're going to rotate a lot in the linebacker core as well. But I think that Trotter could also... I think N'Kobe Dean has potential to cover. I know he's pretty bad at it, but I think that we haven't heard or seen a whole lot of it. But I think that, he's young, he's spry, he's quick, undersized.
That's the thing. I think he's too squatty.
You put him in Trotter. You put him in Trotter, though. You put him in Trotter, and then you drop down Avonte Maddox in there. You're doing okay. Because then you have pretty big corners at this point between Quinyon Mitchell,
Bradbury, and
Ringo. What's his name?
Yeah,
and even Cooper DeJean's not the smallest.
He's stocky.
Yeah, he's like a Harrison Smith kind of build.
Are you just saying that because he's a white D-back?
No, well, he's like the white stockier only D-back I got right there.
Shipley, kind of reminds you of Danny Woodhead.
Sirianni said that. It's like
so
they have nothing in common.
Oh, man.
But you can't say McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Right, so he went to Danny Woodhead.
Who else?
Patrick Willis, maybe?
Danny Woodhead used to be one of my favorite fantasy pickups.
He was
he would always just people would not pick him up, and it's like, dude, you don't understand. Like, he gets so many catches. I used to like Danny Woodhead, dude.
Mine was Theo Riddick. Theo Riddick was another one, man. He was the PPR running back. Like, he was great in your flex. There'd be some games where the Lions were getting blown out, and they're just throwing it underneath, and Theo Riddick would end up with like 10 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. And the Lions still got blown out, but Theo Riddick put up numbers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I used to love a Theo Riddick on my fantasy team.
You get a little Cole Beasley up in there, too. He was not that bad, I'll tell you what. Just as a little rat running around.
Yeah. I always felt slimy having Cowboys on my team.
I didn't mind it. Fantasy's not... I try to be a little bit more impartial with that.
I hear you, but you have to root for a Cowboys player.
I don't root. Again, it's like the third receiver or a fucking flex guy. Like I
remember one year I had Dak on my team.
Although I usually pick up... I try to get CeeDee Lamb, too. So
he's good.
I do pick him up, yeah. Dez was always good, too, to have.
Yeah, my one league...
Never picked up Romo. I've never touched Romo.
My one league, we do individual defensive players. I would get Micah Parsons a couple times, and that would work out pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so. But yeah, man, team looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, we got... what do I got written down here? Oh, I said... we didn't talk about our biggest disappointment. I think we all kind of touched on what we were impressed about. What were you most disappointed about? Or have you been?
I mean, not much, honestly. Like, I mean, I can't think of anyone who I expected to be good. Who
it doesn't have to be a player. It could be something in general.
Just about the Eagles.
Yeah, if you don't have a player.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Kenny Pickett looks terrible, but like
there
I said,
go.
I wasn't expecting him to be great. But yeah,
he's looked worse than I thought. Though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if Hurts goes down for an extended period of time, we might be in trouble. Unless they the team grows a pair and just decides to let Tanner McKee be the backup.
I think they might have seen that tonight. That's why Kenny Pickett played the first half. He looked bad. Tanner McKee came in and was lighting it up, and he only played like 3 series. They're like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
Decision's been made. But yeah, Kenny Pickett has been really bad.
Small hands.
I think my biggest disappointment, if I had to go for a stretch here, would just be the tight end core. Because I think once you get past Dallas Goedert, it's such a... I mean, you picked up Ozuma. You have whatever it is from last year. And you have 2 other guys that no one knows.
What do you call it? EJ Jenkins had that one catch we were watching.
I'm saying you have like some guys, but that's my point though, is that like, Goddard we know could be a top 5 tight end when healthy. When healthy is a big thing. I don't know if it's because he lives with Devontae Maddox. They just can't get right, but something in there is just not working out. So it's almost a guarantee, similar to your take with CJ that Goddard will miss extended period of time, whether it's a weird forearm or he gets hit below the knee and whatever it is.
Next year's draft, they definitely got to address tight end.
They need to.
It's time to get another guy in
here.
So
I think this season, again, to Trevor's point, it's tough to pick out. I had no expectation on anybody in offense, in offseason, preseason, all this bullshit. Had they played some starters for a series or 2, maybe I'd be happier too. I'm a little disappointed in that. But I think the biggest disappointment is not having a true backup for one of the premier pieces to the offense. Running back, we have Will Shipley, you addressed. Receiving core, I mean, God forbid someone goes down. At least you still have Devontae. Like, you have 2 number 1 receivers right now. So, that's fine. O-line, that is what it is. But I think of your offensive weapons, tight end, you didn't bring up anybody that could be useful. No one really gave a shit last year besides Goddard when you put him in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Calcaterra.
I don't know if any tight end other than Goddard had a catch last year.
I think
Calcaterra might have had
against
1
the
or 2.
Giants. I think last game of the season
didn't have any.
Yeah, he was a bust.
I think that Azuma, whatever the fuck his name is, was exciting when we picked him up because I figured oh wow, he had a great year.
He's older than I thought though.
Yeah, but as a tight end, I feel like you can get away with that shit. Good run block, you do some smarter O-line help, but it's disappointing.
They need to convert Johnny Wilson to tight end.
They got to fire that tight end coach.
That's a big man, dude. Johnny Wilson's a big man. Move him to tight end. Tell him to gain 10 pounds.
Well, we'll see what he does. I mean, I'm okay with having a larger slot receiver too, and I'm okay with him being that guy, like a Jason Avant. I'm okay with that.
He's a big man though. But
Jason Avant was not small.
He wasn't 6'6".
He wasn't 6'6", but he was stocky.
Yeah, he was. He was
a big man. He was a grown ass man playing slot.
He was built. Now
it's all like Cole Beasley, those. Once he broke the threshold with that, it's been like little man being in the slot. But you kind of need a larger guy. You kind of need both.
You want to be able to rotate.
Yes and no. Avant was. Well, I'm just biased. I'm never going to back down on that. I like that mold.
It's good to have a shifty guy in the slot. Think about when we put Devontae in the slot, how good he is.
I hate him out there in the slot.
But he's good in the slot,
He is, but that, to me, is danger zone. I feel like you're going to get hit by a linebacker, then Micah Parsons out there floating around. I'd rather have a guy that's built like Wilson than it is built like Devontae getting hit with that. That's all I'm saying.
Also, speaking of, shifty slot receivers, fucking Hunter Renfrow is still a free agent. Oh. I kind of like him. I know, there's been a few teams thrown around. I think the Eagles have been one of them.
He's in that Wes Welker, Cole Beasley mold.
Yeah,
he's cool.
He's a good route runner.
Good hands, sure hands.
Yeah,
I would do it.
Maybe if you can get him for a nice deal, I would.
Yeah, I would do that.
Who's your biggest disappointment this preseason, off-season?
So mine's not too different from yours. I would say it's the wide receiver 3 for the point you mentioned. Yes, we have 2 number 1 receivers. If one of them gets hurt, you still have 1 number 1 receiver, but then after that, it's just...
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah.
Who is it, right? That's
John
a huge...
Ross concussion.
Yeah, John Ross concussion. Johnny Wilson didn't play tonight. Paris Campbell hasn't been healthy at all.
Watkins is gone. He got picked
Watkins
up by somebody.
sucked. Britton Covey, nice on punt returns.
Where was he at today? He didn't play.
I don't know.
I don't think he dressed.
Maybe they felt like they didn't want to risk injury because he's going to be the punt returner. But
he had a good game. I mean, he did have a great...
He was good, yeah. But, I'm not ready to trust him as the number 2 receiver in November. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my concern is the number 3 receiver position. Because we saw it last year. The one game that AJ didn't play in the playoffs, Devontae had a good game, but no one else could get open.
Well, then Julio got hurt, too, in the first half.
Julio wasn't doing anything in that game. Julio was washed.
I'm just saying, at least it gives you a secondary... He did okay when he was there. He did get a couple first downs.
He was fucking washed.
He got a couple first downs. Compared to... I would take a old Julio over Britton Covey in the playoffs.
Oh, I won't disagree, but that's a low bar to clear. My point is they didn't do enough to address the position. I guess they thought they did it with Johnny Wilson and Anaya Smith, and Johnny Wilson could end up being something, and Anaya Smith has not been much of anything. But it's just dude, like Trevor said, Hunter Renfro's out there. There are other free agent receivers. I mean, hell, you could probably get Aguilar back.
Hell no. I heard he had a deep ball. Who's he with right now?
He's with Baltimore. I was kidding. I was kidding on that one.
Yeah, no. They had a deep ball to him. He fucking dropped it.
Nah, I'm not bringing him back. I'm not bringing Rager back. But, there are other teams out there. What are the Broncos doing with Cortland Sutton? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are what's this guy on the Chargers' name? Is Mike Williams, is he still there yet?
No, he's with the...
It's about James Wood?
Nah, I meant Mike Williams.
Oh, Mike Williams.
Although, now that you bring up Wood, what about Robert Wood?
Or yeah, that's what I meant, Robert Wood.
He's old too, though.
He's going to be better than these guys we have now.
I'd rather bring back Julio Jones.
You're smoking dope.
Well, yeah, but I'll take him back. I would.
I mean, give me one of the Giants, 10 slot receivers. Slayton. Give me Sterling Shepard. Give me Darius Slayton. I would bring one of them in.
I don't want any fucking dirty Giants players on this team. I'm good.
We got a dirty Giants player running back, and we're pretty damn excited about him.
He's nice and clean, though. He's from PA. He's clean. Yeah.
Oh, that's the difference. Nah, I don't know, man. The third receiver position kind of scares me right now.
It's tricky for sure. I think they'll be in a good spot. I think it's no different than it was last year.
I know. I was saying it's not like they've had anyone good there for the past
they've been relying on having back-to-back.
It was a problem last year. It could be a problem this year.
Yeah.
I mean, who was their third? Okay, you go back to the D-Jack and Jerry Maclin era. Who was their third receiver? Take out the slot guy.
I think it was Avant.
Right. Well, hello. Okay,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need
beyond those three. Who you got?
Well, no, that's your third is Avant. You have a stud number 3. Or it was racist Riley Cooper. Yeah.
Don't be looking at. Oh, don't be pointing at me like that.
Speaking of the Nick Foles 7 touchdown game, I think
he had
Cooper had at least 2 or 3 in that game.
Yeah. But before, that was like a 2-year
Or
stint.
think of the Super Bowl year. That was the one year Aguilar was good in 2017.
Yeah.
Or
that was a pretty. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty shitty wide receiver core.
Yo, it was bad, but it worked. Give me Olamide Zaccheaus. Bring him back, dude.
No.
Who was the slot receiver on the 2022 team?
I think it
was AJ, Devontae, and who was the slot receiver on that team?
Was Rager still on the team?
Wait, 2022?
When we went to the Super Bowl.
It was still Watkins, right?
That was the year Quez was okay.
Yeah, it was Quez.
Yeah, I don't want to bring him back. Never mind.
I think he got picked up by somebody.
Oh, I'm not bringing him back.
Yeah.
He was so bad. Nope, absolutely not.
We'll see if Paris Campbell gets healthy. We'll see if John Ross makes the team. I'm okay with that. The thing is, you can't really get a good...
Where's Zach Pascal?
I don't want his bitch ass either.
No, he wasn't that good.
No. I think we're overlooking the... I think we're overthinking the receiving core. I understand your point that we need to have a good backup.
I think you're overthinking the tight end.
I think
if you have 2 good receivers, a good running back.
My point though is that your number 1 is going to go down eventually.
Yeah, and my point is that most teams play 3 wide receivers all the time, and if we have to do that, it's easy to key in on our 2 top receivers.
Well, we haven't seen John Ross play with Hurts or anybody like that. John Ross could be the number 3. How's that any different than Quez Watkins?
I don't think he's...
It's the same fucking player. He's just as fast. That's literally it. And our number 3 the last 2 years haven't really been a key factor, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean...
Until someone gets hurt. But again,
we sucked last year.
not because we didn't have a number 3 receiver.
Certainly didn't help. Whatever, man.
Yeah, I think we talked enough about the number 3 receiver.
Oh, I'm gonna exhaust this. Dude.
Yeah,
I'll take it to the grave.
We're talking about it more next week. Is that about wrap up the birds?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't got nothing else written down.
Yeah, we got Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
he's a champion.
He won the gold, dude.
Gold medal.
Finally won something of substance in his career. I'm so happy for my mans, dude.
As though he got some kind of medal of recognition from Cameroon, which is cool.
Some medal of accomplishment.
Yeah,
he got
what is it called? I wrote it down. The Order of Valor medal Valor. The Order of Valor medal.
It's just a tracksuit, a velour tracksuit.
The Order of Valor.
Yeah. He won the Order of Valor medal from Cameroon, which is usually reserved for someone with great scientific or academic achievements. His was he won a gold medal, not even for Cameroon. But this just goes to the point that all these French people were pissed that he wasn't playing for France. I mean, he wasn't playing for Cameroon either, but they still turned around and gave him recognition and a medal.
Yeah.
So these French people need to get a grip, dude.
Yeah.
They think that's serious.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta ask y'all, because I did the solo pod right after that USA victory over Serbia. How are y'all feeling? Obviously, you didn't do a whole lot statistically in the gold medal game, but how do y'all feel after that Serbia game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he didn't do much in the gold medal game, but they wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for him. So he did his part, on a stacked team like that. You can't expect everyone to contribute every game unless it's Steph Curry. But, he definitely played a big role in them getting that gold, however you look at it. So I think it's good. It's good for him. Be part of a team that won a final, you know what I mean? Got a little taste. I think it's good for him. I mean, it's nice that going into the season, it's not, last year it was all summer. It's just you still have that lingering feeling of how bad that last game against the Celtics was, and that was the last thing that happened. Whereas this year it's he was able to go out and do something really cool. And that's kind of the vibes going into the season. Not that, I mean, I don't know that it really matters that much, but it's something, It's good for him. Could possibly be good for the Sixers. I think it was a good experience for him to have, playing with a lot of, being able to play with LeBron James and Steph Curry and all these guys, I think could only be good for him. So, yeah.
I agree with that. I think it was good for his, little ego that he might have in that sense. I couldn't give a shit. That's great. You won a gold medal. I'm cool with that. I think that, it could be the same of he won the MVP, but whatever. And that was lingering on his head. So whatever he needs to do to clear his head, to get back into gear, if that makes him healthier, I'm okay with it. I think if every NBA season was a 8-game stretch for a championship, we'd probably win every year, but, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited for the man. It's great that he won. I think it was good that he had his best game against Serbia, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So it's good to see that big matchup, the two big bulls going at it. So good for him that way.
Did you see the president of Serbia was whining about shit on Twitter?
Yeah, he's calling it a travel on that one dunk. Yeah. It was not a travel.
Yeah, it was not. I don't know why. The whole team was the Serbia team was outraged about that.
I
was like, dude, that's not. Unless it's, I don't know, maybe the FIBA rules are different or something, but in the NBA, that's definitely not a travel. Anywhere. Yeah, it was he took 2 steps and dunked. It's not a travel.
I'd like to see it be a little bit more of a factor in the last game for the gold medal, but, at least he didn't get hurt, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
He stayed healthy. That was my biggest concern, really. Unfortunately, was just him, rolling his ankle or some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember in that Serbia game, he had probably the coolest dunk of the tournament. He just, he was at in the corner, looking like he was going to go up for a shot, kind of faked it out, went over and just blasted a dunk. But then he kind of
he landed weird.
He landed weird and slipped and fell. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So here's the
thing.
I
was he got up. I was like, thank fucking God.
So he won the gold. I'm cool with that. He won the little country award from Cameroon. Cool. Again, great. I'm happy for the guy, but this is side quest bullshit. That's cool.
You're not wrong.
He's not a 40-year-old LeBron James. He's Embiid, I'm cool with that. You won the thing. You got to go fucking do everything else to the French, and that's cool. But, your boy got paid in Maxey. PG came. Let's see if you want to hunker down here, maybe get a little bit of shape, probably cut some pounds. I think he's looking a little, I don't know. I think he could trim a little weight.
So
you say that every
no, but
he's pushed. He's
Pat's right. Like,
he's big.
No, I think he definitely could trim up a little bit.
First, I will say to the dunk where he fell. I think after that dunk against the Knicks where he threw it off the backboard and caught it and landed, he's just like, I'm not landing on my feet. Like, I would prefer to just roll and fall. Because you remember that dunk against the Knicks, he was healthy after it, but he for a second, concerned. He looked like he thought his career was over.
My heart did stop, I will say, after that dunk. I'm like, oh my God, this is my worst fear.
I think he's understanding, like, I should just try to fall, like,
gracefully as
kind
possible
of gracefully
for a 7'2", 230 man.
So, I don't think that he flopped, or I don't think that he landed funny. People are saying he flopped. No, I just think he fell to avoid putting pressure on his bad knees.
Yeah.
So, that's that. As far as him winning the gold, I mean, he didn't do a whole lot in the gold medal game. But, I mean, if he doesn't come in that fourth quarter against Jokic, start playing dynamite defense and score 7 straight points, they lose that game. They're playing for a bronze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, he made his impact on the team. If they don't have him, because Jokic, as I said last week, Jokic was cooking everyone else that wasn't Embiid or LeBron. LeBron couldn't defend Jokic the whole game. Like, AD, cooked. Bam, cooked. Whoever the hell else, KD, cooked. Mm-hmm. Jokic was cooking everyone, but he couldn't cook Embiid. Embiid played great day. So, to that point, like, Embiid did his thing. He deserved to win that gold on the strength of that game alone. What do you call it? Kyle Neubeck had this really good segment in an article talking about Embiid in the medal game. Yeah, he only had 4 points, but his impact was felt in other ways, right?
That big pass to LeBron, too, when they
that
got
was
that
sick.
steal. Yeah.
That fast break. See, I'll read this real quick from Kyle Neubeck for PHLY. After a rough start against the host nation that included a nasty Victor Wembanyama blow-by, Embiid opened the second half by playing like, a big man. Team France benefited from their decision to bench Rudy Gobert and play smaller this tournament, but Embiid and LeBron James found a way to exploit that early in the third quarter. After the big man was fouled on a duck-in with Gershon Yabusele stuck on a switch, the U.S. forced another Wembanyama-Yabusele switch with an Embiid ball screen for James, leaving 2 more free throws for Embiid. 2.5 minutes in, the French had to change their lineup, went back to the Twin Towers look with Wemby and Gobert. The next U.S. possession, an inverted pick and roll for LeBron and Steph, set up the play. Embiid waved Devin Booker out of the strong side corner, hunkered down there himself, leaving Francis Biggs in a worse position to help. This look is part of why Embiid was put on Team USA's roster. Then it's a picture of Embiid in the corner. France's defenders are afraid to help off Embiid because they know he can shoot that corner 3, and then Steph Curry is wide open on the wing. Yeah. So because of the fact that like Embiid was owning them down low, he had started to get hot, they didn't want to leave him open, and as a result, Steph Curry started getting loose. So Embiid only had 4 points, but he was still making it happen just because of his gravity alone, right? Yeah. So do I wish he put up 20 and 10 in the elimination game? Hell yeah. But he still had his impact felt.
I'm not saying he was not impactful in the gold game. I think that, the whole Olympics was really catered around LeBron, KD, and Curry.
Oh, for sure.
I think that Embiid had a great game, which was good, put him on the map that way against his biggest NBA rival. I mean, everything is always Jokic and Embiid. So, we kind of got robbed of that. He was on that MVP kind of tour before he got hurt, and then he didn't get to play against Jokic in Denver, and we missed out on that big opportunity to see them go toe-to-toe for a full game. So that was kind of a cool thing to see them do their thing on a large scale that way.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, I think it's kudos to the whole team. Also, thankfully, no one got hurt at all, which was great to see. I mean, KD took that real nasty dip in the gold match when he almost fell onto the bench, and I'm like, oh god, you hate to see someone get hurt in an not an NBA game. But yeah, I mean, it was exciting to see him beat out there. He looked good. He didn't look lazy like he did in the playoffs.
He looked lazy. He looked the first couple games.
He looked his natural, like Embiid getting started laziness, but he didn't look like he was nursing that knee. It was good to see him out there moving around.
I think he's nursing
he was
that
protective
knee.
of it for sure, but I don't think he was as protective as he could have been. I mean, you're not making that dunk like that if you're worried about your knee. He was out here feeling better than I've seen him play in a little bit, which was nice to see.
He looked spry at moments.
And I think it helped him out too because, you're in playing shape already now. You didn't take this last month off to go down to the shore, hang out with your fam. I mean, obviously family's important, but he's in arguably it's a good rehab stint to be in, whether or not you're getting minutes or not, I think.
So here's what I will say. Yes, I'm glad he won the gold. Physically, he still doesn't look good.
He got to cut weight. He needs to.
What I'm concerned about is that this is the new norm because all these injuries. I just think this is who he is now. I hope I'm wrong. What I say earlier, 97% of the time I'm right. I hope this is the 3% of the time I'm wrong and that he somehow manages to work that knee back into shape. But yeah, he's barely jumping, dude. For rebounds, for blocks, he had a couple dunks. He just looks slow. Something looks off. I mean, he's 30, which
is not okay. First off, I get it. In NBA years, maybe that's
for
okay.
a 7 foot, 280 pound guy.
That's my point, though. Put a fucking trash bag on, do a couple laps, cut a little bit. That'll only help the knees out anyway.
Oh, I hear you.
I don't need you to jump around like a gazelle, but damn, dog, he's just out here. We don't need the giant. You lose half of the allure if you're just moping up and down the field like Igor like that. Cut 20 pounds goes a long way, and you're still 250. You're all right.
I agree, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Season starts in 2 months. He's going to cut 20 pounds in 2 months.
But I don't know. The dude's I'm not a professional NBA player where I can make, $300 million in a contract and figure it out. But if I'm Embiid and my body's telling me, damn, my joints are killing me because every time I jump, I'm breaking something, maybe I need to lose some of this 280 pounds on this body. He could cut a little bit. Wembanyama could gain some. But Embiid could definitely lose.
Embiid probably looks at Jokic. He's like, yeah, he doesn't jump. He doesn't do anything.
Jokic doesn't look that big, though. Embiid runs like he's...
Jokic is in better shape, even though he's also a husky dude. Jokic can run for...
Yeah, I mean, he looks weird when he runs.
You seen Jokic the day after the Olympics
at the horse race
drinking a beer?
Heineken.
Yeah, Jokic is the man, dude. I used to spit a lot of vitriol when we first started the pod during the MVP race. I don't have anything but love for Jokic. That's just a funny man, dude.
Yeah, he's a goofy dude.
Yeah, he's very likable. Can't really hate him.
Yeah, he likes horses more than he likes the NBA. I will say it was fun seeing him after Serbia got bronze. You seen him riding the bus, partying with his boys on the bus.
Oh yeah,
you saw when he got home for that whole thing. They had a whole fucking party outside of the parliament, wherever they have their little residential thing, and it was. As far as the eye could see, confetti, flames going.
That's awesome.
He came out to the balcony like the fucking Pope. They were like,
yeah. Jokic is the man, dude.
And they won bronze. They didn't even
yeah.
No, I like Jokic.
Yeah.
I like Embiid more, but I like Jokic.
Love Embiid. Just could trim a little fat off. That's all.
Yeah, or just not get hurt, or both.
I think one of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the Sixers schedule a little bit? Did you all see this?
Kind of running late.
What time is it? Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much to talk about this. I haven't really looked at it, to be honest.
I haven't looked at it either.
They opened the season against Doc and the Bucks at home.
Good.
That's a win.
They play Christmas against the Celtics in Boston.
Really fun.
Their in-season tournament opponents are... I don't have it written down. The Knicks, the Magic, the Hornets, and the Nets.
Yeah. So not bad, but
the Knicks and the Magic, that's two
pretty
good teams. I think they're going to lose one of those
games.
Well,
they're piggybacking off of that reinvigorated rivalry there with the Knicks. That's all.
But hey, the in-season tournament's trash anyway. Get me to the real championship. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really look at it too much. I looked to see some tough stretches. The Disney on Ice trip is going to be pretty ass this year. It's like a 7-game road trip against some good teams out west. But other than that, I don't know. We don't spend too much time on this.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll just about do it for us here tonight.
Hold up. We got to talk about Will Levis's mayonnaise perfume.
Oh, fuck.
And, well, if we wanted to go to the Trump and Elon Musk interview.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we could talk about it for a little bit. I mean,
Mayo.
that was like a parody thing, right?
Oh, I don't know. Was it?
I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was real.
I didn't think it was a real thing. I thought
No,
it
I
was.
think it was
Because he did the whole draft day, like, oh yeah, I put mayo on my coffee. But I think it was like a.
Well,
like
why
it
did
was
he
a
have to
bit.
try to make it so sultry?
Well, it's like
Or
an
he's like
SNL bit.
licking mayonnaise.
Well, the dude
It was part
loves
of the
mayo.
bit.
He was.
He do love mayo, although it is BLT season, so mayo has been hitting right now, big time.
Oh, I put avocado on mine the other day.
Yeah, I actually had a BLT today.
I've made 2, and then the other time I made a salmon burger, and I put bacon and lettuce and tomato on that.
Damn.
Yeah.
So is it a BLT or is it a salmon
No,
sandwich?
it's a salmon.
with
It's a
lettuce
salmon. It's a salmon BLT. At the,
BLT,
I
yes.
guess. I don't know what that is. It was good though. But my point and I made like a. I did use mayo actually. I made a horseradish mayo, and I put a little mustard in there. So I mixed horseradish,
Shit.
a little spicy brown, and some mayo. Mixed it all up and put it on the burger. Banging.
The horseradish with the spicy brown.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
like
It was a nice
horseradish.
kick,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
that sounds good.
We used to make homemade horseradish sauce at my parents' house. They got the root growing in the backyard.
Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. You can grow a horseradish root in Philly like that? Yeah, I guess
it's a
pretty. Yeah, it's a pretty tough vegetable.
You just need to get a good solid root, because sometimes you get them, they're like little skinny things, but if you get the big solid root, shave off the outside, blend it
those
up.
roots get bulky.
But you got to blend it up outside. If you do it inside, it gets like,
oh, I could see
you
that.
start
Yeah.
crying. It's worse than an onion.
Yeah, shit.
But yeah, so that mayonnaise commercial was fake.
I think it was a
I think
joke.
it was, because it's
Because I was going to ask,
cologne.
what's mayonnaise even smell like? Does
Kind of has a
mayonnaise have a
vinegary.
scent?
It smells like vinegary egg.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to walk around stinking like mayonnaise.
Maybe if you're from the middle of fucking Oklahoma,
That's true.
or wherever he's from.
Kentucky, I think he went to school in Kentucky. I don't know if that's where he's from, but
Goof.
yeah, they probably don't have good smelling things down there. It's like, Kentucky probably smells good. Couldn't have got that KFC.
Some stuff.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
that probably smells good, but mayo, I don't know if I've ever smelled it.
Lemon,
I'm
herbs,
never
and
like,
spices.
it smells like mayo. I'll eat it. It tastes good.
Damn,
but
mayo smells sexy.
does it though?
No.
I don't
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
so.
not sure about that.
Like maybe a whipped cream, but not a mayo.
Ooh, whipped cream does. It smells sweet, and it's usually kind of chilled.
Yeah.
Mayo is just always jiggly and
Yeah. Yuck.
yeah, but it's good though.
Yeah, I do like mayo.
I don't know if I would spray it on myself. Before.
Absolutely not. I'm not for damn sure not filming a commercial where I'm licking mayo out of the jar like, like what the hell was that?
It's
dude?
also hard to lick it out of the jar because it's usually pretty
you're
deep
getting
in
it into
there.
your beard and your nose.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
You're like an anteater
don't
getting in
wanna
that
do
thing.
Nah, that's repulsive. But hey, that's your Tennessee Titans starting quarterback.
Tennessee, they probably love that shit though.
They probably do. Imagine that's your starting quarterback licking mayo out of the jar.
Couldn't be us.
At least ours sticks to boring cliches and
I'd jump off the
yeah.
wall. Wait, at least he did the whole fucking the thing for the flag football thing too.
Oh yeah, next Summer Olympics, flag
Yeah.
football.
Do we want to talk about this Trump Elon Musk thing? I don't really have anything.
I don't
pulled
really
up
have
for it.
anything to say about it other than it was funny that Trump sounded like fucking Sylvester the cat.
Yeah, he sounded
It's just
bad,
like-
dude.
His teeth were out.
Yeah.
He
was like, I saw a picture of him when he was doing it, and it was just like he just had a cell phone out on the. Like, it was weird that they didn't have some kind of setup for him. You know what I mean? It was just like literally just had like a phone out on the table, and he's just like leaned over it
yeah.
in a weird
on
way.
on a massive
Like-
table too. They were looking at
Yeah.
a conference room.
Yeah,
with
he's just like
two
staring
people.
into the phone.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
like hunched over this table. Yeah, that was weird.
And they couldn't get it to start right away.
Dude, yeah,
which
I
is what
remember-
happened with DeSantis too. They had that whole malfunction thing. They're like, "Oh, we got hacked." No one fucking hacked your ass.
Yeah.
You just can't figure out how to work
Yeah,
technology.
I
Just,
opened
like
Twitter.
he just fired all of his good engineers
Right.
or whatever, or software people, or and now it sucks.
I opened Twitter for like just to check like something else, and I see all these people saying like, yeah, Elon Musk is saying like they got hacked, and then Trump is just sitting there, and then I try to watch it, and it was just like a black screen. I literally
Yeah, I
couldn't see
couldn't watch
anything.
it on Twitter. I saw some of it. Some people on TikTok were live streaming it, and that's how I was able to listen to some of it. But I couldn't do it through the actual app that it was on.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's just pathetic, honestly.
What a time to be alive. But yeah, I don't. Now that Biden has dropped out, like Trump is I don't think the Republicans don't have anyone else, but like Trump probably should drop out too.
Well, because they fucking burnt DeSantis to the ground. They had, dude. Honestly, someone they could have, I guess, put in there. But the funny thing is, they're using all the shit that he said about Biden now against him because he is the oldest guy now. So it's like,
that's my point.
Now Biden,
Yeah, like 8 years ago. That's crazy to think that he first ran for president 8 years ago. Damn, time flies. But 8 years ago, he had so much more energy. Whereas now, just like my man's borderline vegetable.
He's just phoning it in at this point.
Yeah.
Heart's just not in it anymore.
He said, turn the cameras to show the true size of the crowd. So they did. He goes, turn the cameras back at me. Don't show the crowd anymore. Don't be doing that.
Like, do we have any mirrors?
Yeah, it's just old white people sitting out there, and it's not even full. It's like half empty anyway. And then they did the same thing at Kamala's thing. It was like packed to the gill. It's just stupid. It's just, what are we doing? It's like you're living in an SNL skit every week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying last week. Politics these days, nothing makes sense, dude. No. It's wild. We got people getting shot. We got people getting COVID dropping out. We got people fucking mattresses. We got opposing VPs talking about how he fucks a mattress.
We got women running for president. No, okay.
I can't wait for that debate between Walls and
JD Vance.
Oh, yeah. He said, see you October. He said if he gets off the couch, I said, damn, this guy's got some funny little jokes over here.
Yeah, Walls is all right. He's a football coach. I should have said that last week.
Football guy.
He is our first guest with any clout. The Vice President-elect Tim Walls. It's like he's not the elected nominee. Probably the elect, the way things are looking.
Is still called? Well, yeah, potential VP elect.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll just
now we're good.
Do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and viewing. I was told which is a good. No, that was constructive criticism. I should say that. So, thank you very much to all of our listeners and viewers there for checking us out tonight. And now I'm thrown off because I need to figure out a way to work this into the usual spiel. But
follow us on.
Please leave us a 5-star rating and review over to your podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.
Go Birds.